Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man, Coach B, on a Monday night. What's up, Coach?
What's going on tonight?
Man, a little chilly. A lot of basketball over the weekend, Coach.
A lot.
Now, you was taking care of business, Coach, over the 53rd Harris Classic, Panther Classic. Took care of business. First time you won it since 2017?
I have no idea. Nobody knows.
I knew, Coach. I did my research.
Did you? All right.
Yeah, I did my research, Coach. You got to come on the show prepared. If not, people start looking at other people's stuff.
Well, I see people prepared because I won 53rd Classic. So here you go.
That's it. Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations to you and the ladies, man. Took care of business, beat some good teams. That's what it's all about, man. It's always good to win your own tournament because you got the home court advantage. Yeah. You know, you got the fans in there fired up. The girls are hyped. Saw a lot of good things out there, man. Watching some videos. Saw parents on Facebook. Excited. When you win, everybody's happy, Coach. When you win, everybody is happy. You get a little music going, you get the crowd going, everybody. You got mamas you ain't seen since 1961 come to a game. Everybody's happy, Coach, when you win. When you lose, man, they ready to drop the come on you, Coach. Yeah. They love you this week. Next week, let's see how they feel about you. Lose a game and see how they feel about you.
Well, they're going to like me next week because we only got one this week, so we're good.
Okay. But like I said, Coach, not a really too busy night, but we can recap some of the games that went over the weekend, some big-time winners, some teams that took care of business. We can start with the John Lawson's Dale City over Mustang for the championship. People always talk about, man, I'm going to give 5A some love because my kid plays in 5A, but everybody else, oh, man, 5A weak, man. You only got 4 or 5 teams, man. All they weak, man. They weak. It's a weak district. Weak. Why 5A is weak? 5A is but 5A just went beat a 6A team. Beat a 6A team, Coach. That was runner-up in 6A last year. That went to the state championship. A hell of a coach in Katie Bass. But Mariah said, wait a minute. One of my star players might go down, but I'm still going to compete. And that's what it's all about. When you got a Sasha, not the Sasha dance, Coach, not the Sasha dance, but a Sasha that can put in work and get the job done. Then you got McAllister. Then you got your big post player. Hey, then you got the shooting guard, Morgan. Shit lights you up. Hell of a game. They learn, Coach. Losing to Newcastle, they learn how to win. Sometimes losing, and we'll talk about losing because Carl Albert took a couple lumps this weekend over the head. Ding, ding, ding. But sometimes losing the game, Coach, will help you become better. It's okay to lose. It's okay to lose. It makes you better. And so congratulations to Dale City Eagles taking care of business at the John Lawson's, a tough tournament. Wasso and Midwest City played for the third place. Wasso came on top of the young, I can't really say young Bombers. You got the 2 freshmen that's showing out, Brooke Henderson and then Riri Walters. And then, it's still a big senior class. You got 5 or 6 senior girls that's getting good game time, and it's in the starting line. I think you start with four seniors and one freshman and Brooke, and then Riri. I think she's the 6th man. So it's still a lot of experience, Coach. When you got because you got 5, 6 seniors on your roster that's been there second year round, and this team looks like last year they came up short. But I know when we talk to them and you talk to them, every one of their goals is to make it to the playoffs. So that just tells you right there, when you got the senior group of girls, and this is it, the last rodeo, all their goals is to set to get to the new house, not the old big house, but the new house. So, but Coach, tell us a little bit about your tournament, though. Tell us a little bit about how it went.
Well, it was a good tournament. I mean, we had some good teams. Bishop started out playing a team in Colorado, Pine Creek, who average line was probably about 5'9". Had a couple of 6'2" girls, a couple of big-time players. Athletes, to give you an example, their best player, I thought, signed a scholarship to play on a full ride at OU for soccer. So they had a tough one out the gate, and they took a hit the first game, but have responded since. Cash and Ace and Mariah, as those 3 goes, that's how the Irish going to go. I mean, he did lose a kid named Maya who played softball, is committed to, I think, one of the Missouri's D2 schools. They lost her with the ACL. I hate to hear that. But they got their big 3. Like I said, when I took a picture with them, it was a big 3. And Ace, I think they're still figuring out how to gel together.
That's it,
You know,
Coach.
I mean, when you got three dominant players, they've got to, you got to mesh, and it takes time. It's not as easy as some think.
Well,
I thought Tuttle did well. The record may not show it, but I think they're a team that's still in 4A that you better prepare for. The Sandlin kid is back. She averaged probably about 18 a game in the tournament. Marissa Sandlin and Lakin Smith was her point guard, and they just need a little help. They're good. They're there. They need a little point. They need some point help, and they need an outside shooter. Their best shooter is also their best ball handler, so that's not a good combination. We played Shawnee, and Shawnee looked good. Shawnee's got the move in from Tecumseh, and
great athlete.
The difference. They have the big girl number 45 inside. That you got to defend for the lefty, and then Daly Rice. So they've got a good piece, and they're going to be good. They're going to be a good team 5A to be hard to beat.
And you beat that team in double overtime, right, Coach?
Double overtime.
Double overtime. Paisley Carter, I think she ended up hitting the winning free throw. So a sophomore, they ended up getting an MVP for the tournament. A young lady that's played a lot of high school ball. I mean, not high school ball, but just a lot of good AU ball. So she knows the game IQ of basketball. I think now, you can see the difference with her being a freshman last year, coaching now being a sophomore. She controls that offense a little bit more. She's not making the, silly passes or turnovers and things like that. So, and that's what happens, people, because you can have these fantastic freshmen. They're going to come in and have good games, going to have bad games, and they're freshmen, Coach. I mean, if your team is led by a freshman right now, you might be in trouble because they're gonna hit a wall. Me and CJ talked about this earlier. We talked about some of the district plays. Man, you guys look at it, man. We're halfway through the month of December. We're gonna be going into January. Next thing you're talking about is regionals and area tournaments and all that, getting ready for the state tournament. So right now you want to get those freshmen in and hopes and by the time January comes around, they're not freshmen no more, and they're not playing like freshmen, they're playing like sophomores. And that's a big step. And then the wear and tear on them, though. I know you play AU, but AU you play on the weekend, and then you get the rest of the week off. But now in high school basketball, you're playing maybe a Friday night. I'm sorry, maybe a Tuesday night, maybe a Friday night. It depends if you go to a tournament. You might play 3 nights.
Right.
There's one thing that I heard all weekend at the John Lawson tournament. Announcers just kept saying, "Man, it's the third day of these girls. Third day is how these legs going to be." You got to get those legs, strong because the jump start coming up short. You start shooting air balls, you start missing free throws. I think was one of the things that kind of hurt the Bombers a little bit. They missed some free throws down the line that it kept them in. They was in the game with a Wasso. Wasso got 2 girls that's got Maddie Hill. First time I really got a chance to watch her play, but she's good. And the young lady we had on the show, what's her name?
Had a Wasso on.
Coach, we had a Wasso on, folks. Here we are arguing on the show. We had a Wasso on.
The one I know is Anna Satterbeck, but I think that's
Satterbeck. That's here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you see from a Wasso, Coach. Folks, this is the guy. This is the OG of all OGs and ladies basketball.
OG's in one mode right now. He's in one mode.
He tired, folks. He celebrated. That's what happened. He drank a little Welch's wine when he won. Now he tired.
Yeah, I said Anna Satterbeck. A couple times.
No, I'm just saying, they had 2 girls on that team, and pretty much, Middle City all week. It was led by Brooklyn. Had a great tournament.
Real quick, Owasso's got a nice point guard in the Macy Pruitt kid, the little guard, Macy Pruitt.
Yes.
Striker guard. Very solid, very defender, scrappy. And so that's probably the point guard. If you've seen them play, Macy Pruitt was at the point. So she plays with JYD as well, and she's a very solid player.
But it was led by Maddie Hill. It was a Maddie Hill show at the end, though. She hit some big buckets. I think she knocked down 22 points, 12 rebounds in the third place consolation place. So great job with her for the third place. I don't know if it's consolation now, but for the third place trophy, she did her job, man. She kept the team in it. Satterback, she had some good shots, tall, lanky young lady, grabbed some good rebounds. But Owasso's going to be a team that, that's going to fight to try to get one of those 8 spots in the 6A state championship, playoffs. So, like I said, some great basketball. Like I said, then you had over the Chickasha tournament, you had Riverside knocking off UConn. Riverside, I think, is a 2A team. And, here you got UConn's a 6A team. So, folks, I'm trying to tell you, because you're a bigger class, don't mean these small classes can't knock you off. Riverside did a great job with, against UConn. UConn had, one of their star players is out, set out the tournament. So I know sometimes when you go to a big tournament like that, when you're not having all your weapons, sometimes they come up short because Those 4 points could have probably been made up by their player, but she didn't get to play. So I know they'll get back on the road and get things going again. They got a tough game. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. They got a tough game come Tuesday nights when we talk about some of the Tuesday night games. Like I said, you look at, you had Hara beating over Pine Creek 45-41, another great game coming off a double time overtime win against Shawnee, then come back and play a team out of Colorado that one of their young players, like he talked about the young lady going to go play soccer. So OU must have a connection with this team because they got a young lady that played with them last year that's going to OU now. And then they took the time out. Coach worked everything out, had it set up that they can go watch OU's women play at the Paycom. And they came back and played him that night. I told him he did a great job feeding them up, getting them extra butter popcorn and milk duds and all that. So they was kind of full now.
Yeah, we were eating metals and nails. We were ready to play. The girls were ready to go. And for them, I think the deal with Shawnee is the was the boost in that tournament because we've been beaten by Shawnee several times since Wendy has taken over, Coach Wells. And so for us, that was the from there you felt kind of invisible. I mean, we've had good scrimmages against Washington and Mustang and UConn and Kingston and things like that. So we thought we were ready. I know our first 3 games didn't look like it, but like I said, last thing I told him was this team is not as good as those teams that we play in scrimmage.
That's it.
So we went after it, got after it, and our key was to rebound, and we did a good job. And and Paisley did a good job at the point we put her in a situation to get downhill and draw a foul, and that's what she had to do. And she drew a foul, and knocked the free throw down that counted. Sailor Eaton had a good tournament as well. So, it was a good deal. Good tournament, good crowds on the boys' side. It was a private school final between Heritage Hall and Bishop, which was a good game as well. So again, good kickoff, 53rd Classic. I appreciate team from Colorado coming down. I appreciate OU setting that up for us to bring them in, and I hope they had a good time doing that.
No, that's big time, Coach. And you get a team come from Colorado all the way come down here and play Oklahoma high school girls basketball. It puts Oklahoma on the map for hey, it's a good state to come play tournaments at, and like even a show, a guy like yourself that does this show, and like we can folks, here shortly we are going to change the name instead of being Oklahoma. We want to branch out to different states. We got connections in Texas. We got connections in Arkansas, in Kansas. So we just don't want to be tied down. Oklahoma's still going to be our bread and butter, but why not get some of these other girls that and some of our girls that play on our AU programs do play in the state of Texas and the state of Kansas and state of Arkansas and stuff, things like that. So we are going to branch off. Probably the first of the year we're going to try to do something, me and Coach V. Like I said, that's something we just want to try to keep building this brand. And, we still want you guys to like and subscribe. I know I feel like, we got other people out there, telling you about big ball games. But at the end of the day, are they talking to you? Anybody can put anything on Facebook page and say, this is a big game of the week, but we're going to give it to you live. We're going to have coaches on here. We're going to have players on here. We got 2 good players set up for Wednesday night. So we'll have 2 great young ladies coming from different parts of the state. Not here in 405, but 10918. And I don't even know what the other one's code's at. It's out there in the sticks, Coach. It's a little bit of drive. But
the third one somewhere. I just know I ain't been there yet.
I hope she got some good tire service. I hope it ain't like Pulaski and them people. I hope it ain't like that, man. We might have to get the antennas out and hopefully we can get her to get tuned in. But like I said, a lot of great high school girls basketball.
I'm going to tell you another tournament that was really good was one out of Bethel, the First United.
Yes, sir.
McLoud, knocked off Bethel at Bethel, who's a state tournament level team in 3A. And then, McLoud beat them. So McLoud is right there. I think they're ranked number 7th now in 4A coming out. They're 5-0. So that was a good win for McLoud. I mean, they got a strong junior class that's been together for since they were in 7th grade. And they're going to be a strong team in 4A to beat.
Now you'll face McLoud down the road. They'll be at home. I know I went to that McLoud Hara game last year, and a great game. I mean, he came down to the wire. You ended up pulling that out, but like you said, McLoud is playing good ball right now. Lewis, the big time softball player, posting. I think one of the twins. I don't know if she's back or not, but I know you got one of the twins playing. So they're doing good things.
That twin got an all tournament MVP, maybe.
Yes. So I mean, that just tells you right there what they're doing. Then another great game was tournament was the Bethel. No, I'm sorry, the Dale and Washington. You know, two
Yeah.
great teams, and that battle back and forth. Washington's one of the top teams in their class, and ended up getting beat by Dale. Dale has a really solid team. Had a couple of freshmen and sophomores step up, and paid. What's her name?
Peyton Bays.
Peyton Bass, and then you had Addie Hill knock down some big time 3s, and a team that we're going to see here in a couple of weeks, Coach, when we go to the Tournament of Champions. I'm looking forward to that. Carl Albert took their talents down to Arkansas, won the first game, went 1-2. Not what you want, I know me and Coach talked about this. You want to be at that 2-1, love to be 3-0, but you want to go 2-1, when you're down there. But I think, like I said earlier, losing it also helps you though. I know Richie and Coach Banks and Coach Lair, they get a chance to work on some things and get things settled before we head off. I know they got two district games this weekend in Lawton and Guthrie. Hopefully they take care of business in those. Then you start preparing for Dale. You knock off Dale, you're going to either get Locust Groves or you're going to get
Locust Grove made a move this week at 4A. They jumped Douglas, went number 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then you're either going to get Locust Grove or you're going to get a Bigsby, a top team in 6A. It'd be good for, if Colorado can knock off both of those and get to the championship and maybe see Lincoln Christian or Union. Not knocking those other teams that's down there, but, you look at this tournament, you look at Lincoln Christian and Union playing in that semifinals. It's going to be a hell of a game. But like I said, you got to go take care of business. Girls got to grow up, got to hit shots. Coach, one of the things I got to say, you got to hit shots. You're not going to win any ball games if you're not hitting shots. I don't care who you are. You can be the Thunder. You can be San Antonio. You can be the Lakers. You can be OU's women, OSU's women. If you're not hitting buckets and it's doing nothing but bouncing off the dang thing and it's going boing.
You're right.
And that's the buzzer because I'm checking you in and checking you out and get somebody else is going to hit some buckets.
Sometimes you got to go through the whole roster and nobody hitting.
Yeah.
You got to go back to number 1 and start all over again.
Yeah. But, big shout out to Jakari Brown and Audrey Plunkett again, all tournament team. And that's good. And little Hayden Harold, little mama got a little trophy, like a standout, citizen or, player, somebody that people look up to. So shout out to those 3 young ladies taking care of business. I want to give Harold a lot of shout out because I think she's been playing great basketball right now, handling the ball really good. I bet she's no more than 5'2", but she plays like she's 6'3". She gets in there and she bangs, and she's a little nest, man. And she's on your leg and your arms, and she makes you turn the ball over. So big shout out to her and what she's doing. Jakari Brown right now. I told this on the show the other day. If you don't know who Jakari Brown is, you need to find it, folks. I'm telling you, she's playing great ball. She might play in some of the best ball right now in Class 5A. Maybe even 6A. She's smooth as butter, man. She gets to the hole, and this is not a Kyle Albert show. I'm just telling you, when credit is due, I'm going to give you credit. But she's playing good ball right now, and I tell people all the time, and Coach will tell you this too, and any coach will tell you this: you're going to go as far as your seniors can take you. I mean, they've been there. They've been through these bumpy roads. They've been through some losses. They've been through some wins, but they got to grab these young girls by their ears and say, "Let's go!" Because if you miss the bus, guess what? The bus don't come back around to pick you up. So when the bus comes at the bus stop, you better jump on and get ready to go. So, like I said, a lot of great basketball over the weekend, man. Like I said, really big shout out to Coach White over at Dale City, losing Paris for the season, and most teams would have folded their tent, Coach, and went on home, but not them. You heard Sasha's interview. We got to keep going. We got to keep banging. Yes, we lost a top player, but you know what? Next lady up, and that's how it got to be. Next lady up.
I'm telling you, it's good basketball. I mean, everybody's got this last week coming up. Rankings came out. This is going to be your last rankings for about 2 or 3 weeks. And, it just depends on what your break looks like. I know you guys are playing tournament champions. Some are playing at Bertha Teague. And I think even Idabel used to have a Christmas tournament. So some people are not getting as much time off, and they're staying in the gym. So, it's interesting to see. I know Mustangs got their classic they have.
Yes, that's a big time.
Some good basketball over Christmas break. I mean, some really good ranked teams. You talk about your bracket down there. Just think, I don't know who's going to win, who's going to lose, but I don't know, that backside game is going to be pretty good. I mean, you're talking about one. I don't know where Bixby's at, but I don't know if they're 1, but you got 1. You got Locust Grove at 2 and 4A. You got Dell at number 1 and 2A, and then you got the Titans.
Well, they're top 3. So
yeah, I mean, so you're going to have games there on the left side of that bracket that, heck, one of those teams goes to state tournament. So that's good basketball that you're in. And like I said, I mean, I think it's good time in basketball right now. It's nice to get a little break for some. And then, I've always said at the end of December or after Christmas break, I kind of knew where my team was. I knew if this was working, if I need to change the defense, if I need to make, because, the gauntlet of January is coming upon us. And that's, you're playing in 30 something days, you're probably playing 15, 16 games, and so there's almost no time to practice. If you are practicing, it's not hard because for 2 weeks in a row, you got 4 games.
Yeah, and you're not trying to tear those legs up, Coach.
No, I mean, so, you're shooting, you're going through some reps, but those are Monday and Wednesdays. And you got game Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, it's just basketball's coming up. I mean, we're about 3 weeks away from January kicking off, and that's where for ourselves. I mean, we got I count them up 6 ranked teams in January maybe. I may get Chickasha at Lindsay. I got Bethel. I got Jones, who's ranked now number 23A. I've got McLoud. I've got North Rock Creek, who's around at number 10, if not higher, in 4A. I've got Kingfisher if I get there in Kingfisher tournament. So, there's 6, 7 teams. I could be playing 8 teams that are ranked. So, January is a good season. Got to be a big month for us. And so, I'm glad I'm not playing this in the Christmas tournament because it just wear me out. I mean, and every year it seems like I got a couple get sick in January. So, now so depth will come a difference in January now because, someone's going to get sick and I'll be 100%. So, January's interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm battling that right now. My baby got a little head cold, but let's talk about this Mustang tournament. Who they got coming, man? It's just this is it sucks that we are playing in the tournament of champions in Tulsa. I'm glad we are there, but man, there's going to be some good games over here. At Katie's place, man, you got Newcastle versus Piedmont first round. 2 good, Piedmont's a team that's doing big things in 6A. Newcastle has won some game. They're fixing to go out and play out in Phoenix this weekend. So they'll come back, and they really don't have a big time off, Coach. So they're going to go out there and play, then turn around, come back, have a couple of days off, and they're back at Mustang. And these tournaments now, folks, they changed a little bit. The tournaments are starting on Monday. They're going Monday to the 31st. I think everybody wants to celebrate New Year's Eve and all things like that. So the first game you're going to kick off, Newcastle versus Piedmont. Then you got Edmond North against Amber. Is it Amber Percent?
Amber Procasset.
Procasset. Then you got Muskogee and Alva. And then at the end of the night, you're going to have Mustang versus Hofshore. Don't know that much about them.
Hartshorn?
Yes, sir.
Hartshorn's a good team. They got the Davis kid, and they've got, can I say their name? It's like Bernelli. They've got 2 kids that can score.
So that's what I'm saying. It's crazy that you got Piedmont and Newcastle jumping off. And I mean, Newcastle's a team that went from 4A to moved up to 5A. Like I said, they got the things going on. They got some great players over there, and Jordan, the one that transferred from Carl Alberts over there. And then you got the young lady that came over from Elgin. She's been there for a year now, but they're playing good. And I mentioned those 2 because JJ, a little defensive player they have. They're doing some big things. They got the big time post player, and that's got some big time offers already from Houston and then Missouri. So then you got Kalani. No, she battled some injuries. She's coming back. She got an offer from Murray State. And so they, and you got King. I mean, I think one of their best players on the team that don't have an offer yet, but she will. The young lady we had on the show here a week ago. So they got a lot of talent, and I think, Jim is starting to figure these young ladies out. He's finally got them all in there. I know some of them just came in, but he's finally got these young ladies figured out, and they're going to do big things. They're going to be a task in the 5A. Just watching Bishop McGinnis go, Coach, watching him, win a close one at home against Altus. Altus is a team that people don't talk about. I talked about them just the other day, and I watched them play, UConn. Altus is a team that's gonna. I'm telling you right now, you 5A teams, if you're not paying attention to them, you better start scouting because they will come knock you off. When you get into those regionals and you get into that area tournament and you got to face them, don't come in here with no B game because they will knock you off. And guess what? They're going on to state and you sitting at home watching them, because, this team's a good little team. Should have won the game tonight. Missed a couple layups they should have probably knocked down, had to leave most of the game. Ace comes back. I think she misses a shot, then Cash puts it in right at the buzzer. Big time win. You kind of talked about Bishop McGinnis in your tournament. They're going to go when those big three go. Not saying the other girls can't, but if you can contain those three, it might be a long night for Bishop McGinnis. Coach Carr does a good job over there, but you got to start getting some other girls that step up and can knock down some shots too. Because once teams start, I'm telling you right now, Coach, teams got 5 or 6 games on you now, so they can scout you. They know what to do to you now. They know if you're gonna go right, if you're gonna go left, where your hot spots at. So you got to change it. You got to stay in the lab. You got to change some things up to keep you going and make you still be a top notch player. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Altus does. They're in a tough district, with Newcastle, Dale City, and then Bishop McGinnis. They could have got that win tonight. That'd probably kind of put them in a good spot to take the third, because I'm gonna go and give Newcastle the edge and take first in that district. Dale City, I know Dale City people probably gonna boo me for that, but
by the record right now.
That's it. They got the home field advantage because they beat Dale City at Dale City. Now Dale City got to go to Newcastle.
Right.
I'm not saying Dale City can't, because they just went knocked off a 6A team over the weekend, so they have all the marbles to do it. So really looking forward to that. So like I said, big time tournaments come up here in the next few weeks. People start. And after that tournament, there's still some big time tournaments, because you got I looked at that the Titan Classic. Pretty good teams in that, man. You got Broken Arrow in there. You got Booker T. Washington there. You got the Titans in there. So you got Norman, Edmond Memorial. I know Edmond Memorial lost some girls, but they still got some players, though. They're still a 618 that can get around and do some things. So looking forward to that Classic Titan tournament coming here the month of January. Then I know you go to Kingfisher. So that's another tough tournament too.
Yeah, Kingfisher's a tough place to play if you never played there. And Coach Young does a great job. She's got a really good sophomore and a Hartman kid. She's got the Myers kid, the senior, who's experienced. She's got, I think her name is Mackenzie or Mac at the point guard. I can't remember off the top of my head her name, but Coach Young's gonna have them. They're gonna be fired up. They're gonna be ready to play, and they're gonna be physical, And then so there's some good tournaments that are coming up. That we'll see. Like you say Titan Classic, and that tournament weekend is that last weekend. And we got one more week after that before the final rankings come out. And again, that's what we talk about for 4A difference to 6A's. Everything we talk about 4A is rankings, because it is your seeding. Everything you talk about 5 and 6A is district. That's your seeding. You went down to Arkansas, lost a couple, maybe took a hit on the shoulder. You cried a little bit and what your goal was. But outlining your secondary goal, we all want to go undefeated. We all want to stay undefeated at home. But you want to win districts. And
that's it.
That's the important thing. So if you go 0-2, you know what? You're fine. There's no panic button. In 4A and 3A, it's every week 0-2. You got to wait till Monday to find out where you're at, where you're falling. And you're kind of like, well, okay, now I fell in this range. So now who am I going to draw now for playoffs? I can sit down in 5A and 6A and go, if I finish third, I'm going to play them girls over there. And I can almost even start scouting, building film up all year if I wanted to, because I know who I'm going to play. I'm going to play, if I'm a third place team, I'm going to play this team over there in the other district. And so that's the advantage, I think, of 5A and 6A has a little bit, is you get a chance to start doing film tape now. And you start building your little library of inbounds plays, the Carl Albert Titans, or what zones they play. And so, I think when it gets to playoffs, your book may be, about 5-10 pages on scouting of Carl Albert, or mine would. That's me. But, I'd be watching those, and I'd be watching, every game.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is some of those games are blowouts. So there's going to be nothing to watch. But I think that's the difference. Like today we had to go where we're at. If you take a loss, where you at? You guys are sitting, you just got to get better.
You got to get better.
You got to get better,
Like I said, I think it comes down to hitting jump shots. I think some girls, some girls stepped up to get each game. I don't think all our players has played great all together once. And I think once that happened, it's going to be dangerous. I think, got a couple of young ladies coming off the bench and made it help a little bit. I think, like I said, I think right now Jakari is kind of leading the way for us. And then Audrey, is kind of getting back into, coming from volleyball into basketball. I think a lot of it's lifted off her shoulders because she's already signed, so all she has to do out there and go play ball. And then, having a softball player, Sutton, when she gets, coming from softball into basketball, is getting to her spots and hitting her spots. So I think once you get to those deals, it's going to be good. But Coach, real quick, I want to talk about, first time I've ever been to this tournament. I've heard a lot about it. Never been. I think it's played at the BOK Center there in Tulsa. I think that's going to be kind of cool to play on that court.
Yeah.
I think it kind of gets you ready for playing. If you get a chance to make it to the big house.
You need some advice real quick?
Huh? Yes, sir.
Take Zoe outside to shoot.
Take her outside. Take her up to the regional park, Coach.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in that arena,
there's
no background there. And I'm just saying, I think you take them out to the park and you teach them how to focus on the rim and where they're looking at where they're shooting. Because you ain't gonna see much, and I think that's a change. I mean,
yes, sir. I know you kind of talked about that last year when girls going to the arena, because then I think it's even tougher when you go from the arena back to UConn where they play some of the games that then you go back to the arena. So it's gonna be different. But like I said, real quick in that, you got Bigsby at the top with Locust Grove, then you have Carl Albert playing Dell.
Man, I wonder what the score is. Bigsby playing a big one tonight against Owasso.
Yeah, we got to find that. And then you got, like I said, Carter versus Dell. I think that game has a lot on it. Skylar played for Carl Albert. I know some of the girls don't want to get beat by one of their old players, so that has a lot to do with it. And you got Lincoln Christian against Tahlequah Sequoia. Tell me a little bit about them, Coach. I don't know that much about Tahlequah.
Tahlequah, very athletic. Coach does a good job. Hit me next week and I'll have the names for you. I know they got two young ladies that are really good. If I'm correct, Juju's one of them. That averaged about 20-something a game last year in the state playoffs. I don't play them, so I don't know their roster off the top of my head, but I believe Juju's one of them. And they've got a really good guard play, and they're going to get after you in their state tournament team from last year. So I believe the lady that dropped 26 points in the state tournament is back again this year for them. So they're a good team.
So you're trying to tell me Lincoln Christian, they're not going to just let Lincoln Christian run through the courts, so they're gonna have to Lincoln's got to come play a big game.
No, I would say probably not. I mean, Sequoia Tahlequah, in my years of knowing, they've had 1 year where they were not a Sequoia Tahlequah, and I think that was COVID. Because that is a boarding school, and some of the kids, because of COVID, did not make the trip, and so they've been gone and for a couple of years. Dude, I think the COVID probably be my guess. But they were always in the state tournament. You can count them in year out. And that's going to be a good matchup.
No, big time matchup. Then you got the night game at 9 o'clock tonight. You have Quentin, team that was down in Arkansas. Didn't fare too well. I know last year they knocked off, Edmond Memorial in this tournament with the two big stars they had, Williams, and then the young lady that went off to Utah. Union as a team that everybody kind of got up there, and 6A they can get a chance to run for the dance with the Twins and whoever else they got on the team. So get to see the Twins down there and probably get a chance to do a little interview with them. Big shout out to you today, Coach, on the Monday Thoughts. I like that.
You like that?
That's pretty good. You look good.
I'm going to tell you the story on that. I've got two pugs about the same age as my truck, so I would say they were new. I got, I didn't get the truck new, but I did get the pugs, and then I got the GMC truck, so I could back it up now, so. But so that's my deal there. I like that commercial every time it comes on.
No, that's big time though.
Give me a dog, man.
Folks, y'all got a chance to check out Coach V's Monday Thoughts. If you want him to add something to it, let him know. Shoot him a little DM and he'll anything y'all want to talk about Monday Thoughts. Let Coach know. But
let me know.
Yeah, I like that. Coach V's been working behind the scene. Doing some 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
A little time I could change the title of my other one. My other one's like 6 minutes. So, I went back to my 60 seconds where, that's my part where we catch people in the gym.
Yes, sir.
60 seconds, minute and a half. I had a good lady. Fortunately, I had my own kid, and then I had two kids I haven't posted from Heritage Hall that were on there. I had Cash on there, and I had Marissa Sandlin. So I had some nice young players that follow and support our cause. So you know what? I'm going to show them some love when I'm out on the road.
That's it.
They're the ones that are clicking and liking and sharing and saying retweet, repost, follow. So you know what? If I see them on the court, I'm gonna grab them.
That's it. That's what we like. But folks, let's talk about some of these Tuesday night games. Like I said, we talked about the Bishop McGinnis and Altus game. Altus was a tough game. I know it's a tough ride home. losing that game, especially when you was leading most of the game, and then Cash hits the end of the game, put back. So that's a tough one, Coach, to swallow. But hey, that one thing it tells out is, hey, we're right there. We can play with anybody in this district. They're gonna have to go
Coach
play.
Black does a good job. I mean, Coach Black was the head coach at Western Oklahoma,
Uh-huh.
I think for 4 or 5 years, and he was at Bethany before that. So, you've got a guy in there that has some really good experience. So that doesn't surprise me that Coach Black's got him quickly turned around.
Yeah, no, they're doing good things, man. That's going to be a team that you don't want to face when you do face them in area or regionally in those times. But doing a great job.
Did you watch that game?
Yes, sir. I did.
The little guard, she follows us. I think her name is Castillo.
Okay.
Castillo, I think she's a little scoring guard they have down there, a senior.
Yeah, they look good, Coach. I mean, when you go to somebody's home court and take them down to the last few seconds and lose it, I mean, it's a tough loss. But I hate people. I know people don't like to have moral victories, but leaving that game, they got to be feeling good a little bit about themselves because Bishop McGinn is a team that everybody is putting in state. When you got the Irish green, luck of the green, and all that.
Yeah,
it's a good team. Especially you got three outstanding young ladies going to go play college ball somewhere. Don't know what division yet, but all three of them is going to go play. Cash and Ace, and then the young lady that you had on the show. What's her name?
Conley.
Great ball player, really quick. I just think Coach Carter is still trying to find where to put him at because they don't really.
They got another. I want to say her name is Maddie. Maddie, I think is her name. They got a little shooting
guard. Yes, sir.
Shooting guard that, you know what? She feeds off them. So we talk about the big three, but they do have that John Stockton, they do have those. I mean, not John Stockton, but John Paxson. They said to shoot. Steve Kerr.
Yes, sir.
Here, just kick it to me, Michael. I'm ready to shoot it. And she can get hot. I mean, she can knock them down, and that'll be the game that kid there like that will be the difference breaker in whether they win a big game or not, because everybody's going to focus on the three, and they're going to leave her open.
No, Coach, I mean, you're right about that because, like I said, that's going to be a team. If Dale City don't take them lightly or Newcastle don't take them lightly and they come in their house, you can get very upset really, really easy. So looking forward to that. But some big games for Tuesday night. I think this one means a lot, Coach. UConn and Deer Creek, they both have lost one in district, and you're trying to fight for district spots. UConn loses last week to Sapopa, then Deer Creek lost to Edmond
North, wasn't it?
They lost to Piedmont, so Deer Creek has lost too. So they got to get on the winning thread. Or right now they're gonna fall deeper because I think right now Piedmont and Edmond North kind of leads that district. But UConn, like I said, they lost to Sapopa last week. I think Sapopa got a tough game this week. That Sapopa and Piedmont will play, so that'll open some things up a little bit. Then, like I said, you got UConn at Deer Creek. Then you got Piedmont and Sapopa. PC North. I mean, everybody got them already getting the gold ball, but they go down to BA, and BA ain't no joke. So I know he lost some girls, but he's a very good coach. So he'll have them ready for PC North. And I mean, anytime you got to travel and all that kind of stuff, you never know what's going to happen. Then Dale and Millwood. Dale's coming off a big time win against Washington. This could be a catch game right here. If Dale's kind of asleep and Millwood comes in, and Millwood do got some players that moved in, and so you got to be ready because Millwood's going to be very athletic. They got a couple freshman guards and Maddie and Lauren that can do some things, and then they got Mo. Nobody does better than Mo. Then they got the big time center. I know she's not probably the top notch, but she can get some rebounds and blocks. And I don't know if Dale got anybody that size. I know Dale's post young lady is really, really good, but she doesn't match up, to Millwood's big girls. So big time game right there. Can set a tone real big, especially Millwood can get this. And Coach Latoya's first year, she can go knock out Dale. I'm telling you right now, the whole town of Millwood, Tinseltown, not Tinseltown. What's that theater over there? Tinseltown. They all gonna shut down. They're gonna shut down and party like it's 1999, because if you can get that big time win against Dale, everybody knows about Dale. Dale's a good team. Like I said, beating Washington, man, got me nervous a little bit, shaking in my boots, Coach.
Got you going back there and checking film, huh?
Yeah, I went back and watched the film. I got to see what they doing, Coach. I might have to send Coach Richie a little game plan or something. Man, got me watching film. But everybody knows Dale's a good team. Looking forward to seeing them here in a couple weeks. But like I said, some big time games. Those are the kind of games that I saw that just kind of stood out to me. That can especially Deer Creek. And I think
Well,
Deer Creek.
that's a when you talk about must win.
Yes, sir.
That's a must win game for either one of both of those because you can't go any further.
Yeah, now you start dropping them, man. Deer Creek goes 0-3, and or UConn goes 1-2. You got to start trying to you ain't even hit that. I mean, Deer Creek not Deer Creek, but UConn got a tough week. They got Deer Creek tomorrow night. Then a lot of games, folks. If you don't know, catch the show. A lot of games been moved to Thursday because of Friday night. OU will tackle Alabama for the third time. Hope the Boomer Sooners can move on to the second round in the Rose Bowl and go play in Indiana. I think if OU can get past Alabama, I think OU can beat Indiana. That's me being a Homer Sooner fan, but I'm gonna keep it 100 though. But like I said, big time games tomorrow night. Like I said, hopefully everybody can stay healthy. And Coach, you talk about the weather's changing. This is when girls start getting sick and getting the flu or being down and not feeling 100%. And you go on these tournaments and and one of your star players is running a fever and she can't play. So now you got to have next girl up. So I know this is every coach's kind of nightmare because you can't predict mother nature and then when you're going to sick and when you're not going to get sick. You can feed them all day long Tylenol and Theraflu, but hey, when you're sick, and sometimes you can't get out of bed or your body's aching. That's how my kid felt the other day. She's like, hey, man, I'm achy, I'm cold, I'm hot. We're throwing stuff down the mouth. We got to gain them all night. We got to take care against Lawton and then come back on Thursday night and play against Guthrie. So hopefully we can go 2-0 this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's we talked about it today. We got one young lady for the last 2 years. She's been sick every January. So I told whoever her secret Santa is, you better throw some vitamins in that. Something. I don't know what's on her wish list, but you might want to go ahead and throw a little bit in there for her because we need her.
So don't worry about getting no Starbucks.
I'm not going to mention her name, but she knows who she is because we all
so
said
don't worry about getting no Starbucks gift card. We need to get you some Tylenol flu, baby. That's what you need. The thorough flu. I love thorough flu, Coach. I love that lemonade. It tastes like lemonade, man.
Yeah,
I live off this stuff.
We're gonna give the girls in their baskets. They need a carry. Each of them get a carry basket for Christmas.
Coach, I'm telling you right now. My wife would tell you I drink that thorough flu like it's Kool-Aid, Coach, like it's Kool-Aid. I love that Theraflu. My baby, I said, baby, I'm sick. She said, I already know. I'm going to run up to the dollar store. Folks, I'm telling you, give you my secret. Run up to the dollar store, get it for $2, put it in the microwave, get it real hot, pour it in there, stir it up real good, and sip on it, baby. Sip on it. Well, Coach, anything else when we get out of here? I know you're tired, man. You had a long weekend running the tournament and then coaching the tournament. So I know that takes a lot out of you. Then you got a game tomorrow night. We'll be back on Wednesday night, folks, with a couple guests. It'll be mostly guest show Wednesday night. I know we got New Mexico State coach, assistant coach coming on the show soon. So I know we'll kind of slow down here. Not slow down as far as, practice and stuff like that. But me and Coach will be on here a little bit more the following week because, everybody be on, on break. So we'll get on here and
catch you while you're on break. So
yes, sir. And that'll be the best time to catch some young ladies to come on the show and some college coaches. I know they're busy, but be the best time to kind of bring them on and then talk about how their season's going and what they're looking for. Because like I said, they're still out recruiting, even though they're playing games. They still got somebody out here keeping an eye on you. Big shout out to the young lady over at North Arkansas. My buddy's daughter, number 3. Big time player. I think she got MVP. I know Coach knows her pretty good. I didn't get a chance to get an interview with her. I'm telling you right now, folks, she got game.
How about Sanger kid?
Yes, man, she got game. Yeah. I mean, she did a turnaround, Coach, fade away, Elijah, and you just like, man, and she can play in and outside. And Tulsa got a good one with her. I'm gonna say she's about 6'2", 6'3", Coach, and she can shoot from outside, and she can poach. And she can post you up. So one thing about playing in that tournament, I think we saw a lot of great talent. North Little Rock, very athletic team, which I think that team will help us down the road. Playing somebody like them is get you ready for Dale City. Was in the ball game, ended up losing by 9. Was in the ball game against that Texas team, Alicar. Really good team, well coached. And you start
Argyle.
Argyle. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anytime
Argyle.
you start seeing some of these girls that are seniors, they look like somebody's mama, man. I'm out there looking at my little baby. She's fresh out of braces off her teeth, and I'm looking at some of these girls who are like, man, that's somebody's mama out there playing. She redshirted a couple of times.
I am 12.
Yeah. I need to start checking birth certificates when we start doing check-ins. Some of these girls look old.
Yeah.
But Coach, I'm gonna get us out of here.
Well, I want to congratulate my Hair Lady Panthers. I don't boost them that much on this show because I try to keep it even. But I'm gonna give them some love, give them some flowers.
As you should.
Very proud of them. It's something that we talk about, but because of the level of competition that we have, we don't ever know if we can get that championship, and we did. Shout out to my players that performed. Maggie had good games. Allison Price, solid as can be. She doesn't get all tournament, but she fills that stat sheet up. Sailor Eaton and Brooke did a good job. And then to my number 0, Paisley Carter, got to give her some love. I mean, she picked up big. She had 5 against Tuttle, and at 17 back-to-back nights against ranked teams. I mean, that team in Colorado is probably a ranked team. So, she stepped up when we needed and earned MVP of a very prestigious tournament. And to do that as a sophomore is a huge thing for her. She's still floating, I believe. She came into practice today, and she drove down the middle, and someone swatted her shot. And I said, "Welcome back. You are back now."
But Coach, that's a big shout out for her, though, man. I know,
I don't boost my kids much, but I'm gonna give them some love today.
No, Coach, I really appreciate that because at the end of the day, man, I know we do this show, but at the end of the day, you got to give some love when love is due. I know you tell me all the time to do it for my own kid, but like I said, we try to mention every little girl that's doing good things out there. I think Brooklyn kind of put on the show over at the at the Lawson tournament. You got a lot of hype behind her. Just keep doing your thing, young lady. Stay humble. That's the most important thing, is stay humble, because every day is a different day, and as these teams start preparing for you, it's gonna make it tough on you. But you just keep working on your game and your craft, and you're gonna keep getting better. Like I said, you got God gives the talent, so keep doing your thing and keep working hard. And that goes for every young lady out there, man. Like I said, big shout out to Jakari Brown. I think she's doing her thing out there. I got a chance to talk to her dad yesterday. I'm just telling you right now, whoever gets this young lady is going to get a big-time player, because I just think that, she's starting to really, really learn the game and know the game. IQ is really, really smart. She don't take a lot of bad shots, and she's not selfish, and that goes a long way, Coach, when you're not selfish and you're trying to get everybody else to the buckets. And she's done a good job with these freshmen coming in and helping them come along. So big shout out to her. And then, the Colorado Titans, got to bounce back this week, ladies, and then take care of business this week. Go 2-0. The goal this week is go 2-0. Then get ready to go to Tournament of Champions, the one in Oklahoma, and represent. I know Arkansas is a little different. We back on our home turf, our home grounds, our wind, our weather. How Oklahoma weather is. Be 99 one day and 42 the next day. But like I said, good luck to all the girls this week. Like I said, we'll be back on Wednesday night with a couple special guests, and then we're going to just take care of business. Like I said, we're moving forward, man. We'll be on a lot on next week because we have, break, and so we can get some girls on, some coaches on, and take care of business. But, Coach, you know what time it is. I played it once, and I'm playing it twice, but this time it's for real. Yeah. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to another great episode. We need to get y'all back on here, man. We've been kind of low, man. We ain't been having the big time, views that we need to have, man. We need to have our 150 to 200. I can get 300 views off this show. We're talking a little bit about everything. We also need you to like and subscribe right there on Coach's chest. Like and subscribe to Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines. Give us a comment. Give us thumbs up. Tell us if we suck. Tell us if we're good. We understand we got tough skin. But folks, have a happy week. Stay warm. Stay dry. And we'll catch you next time on Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines. See ya! We out. We out. Yeah.
We'd like to thank the following sponsors: Above the Line Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast on YouTube at Oklahoma High School Girls.